In a game we know to be equal parts celebration and also declaration, the annual showcase of the best high school football talent. Welcome to San Antonio and the Alamo Dome for the U.S. Army All-American Bowl. Quarterback, back in 7th grade, he committed to Washington, then he flipped to Texas A&M. Went undefeated in high school, 45-0. He has decided to play his college football at Ohio State.
It's an element of Tate Martell's game that, of course, suits the Urban Meyer system and what he's going to be with the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Keeps it himself, shows that initial burst through the line of scrimmage. And that's a pickup of 8 yards. Looked like a running back going through that hole.
It's a fairly complex system that Tate Martell has run at Bishop Gorman over the last few years. It's been 3 seasons since he's lost a game on the football field. They've won some national championships, multiple state titles. We're seeing it on display here because you referenced, Paul, the fact that these players have only been practicing.
4th down and 1. Najee Harris right up the middle. Needed 1, got 3. And the man at the center of probably the most pressing question here of all the athletes, will it be Michigan or will it be Alabama? An umpire wearing a camera. Here's the look he had at 4th down and 1. Najee Harris going up the middle, fighting for a little bit of extra yardage. Media with these kids. He doesn't have a Twitter account. Tries to cut it out to the right side. And brought down for a loss of 2.
This is the 2nd consecutive tackle made by Jacob Phillips. Just runs through and able to wrap up Najee Harris.
Now going to play at the University of Georgia. He's the starting quarterback for the East Side. And that's Cam Akers in a competition with Najee Harris to be seen as the best running back in this class. Good start for him.
It's a very unique position that Cam Akers is in because he's played quarterback throughout his entire amateur career.
Did that because Kirby Smart, now the head coach at Georgia. Nice job by the West defense there. Eno Benjamin, the tailback in the backfield. Good segue. He is our next declaration. He'll let us know where he's going to college coming up soon here in the first half.
And Eno Benjamin was the one leading the way every step.
And met in the backfield well before he got back to the line of scrimmage. It's Chase Young, future Buckeye, bringing him down.
What a big start to the game so far for Chase Young. He's been committed to Ohio State for a while now.
Play at Georgia. Swift around the left side. Stopped about a half a yard before he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Swift is really a heck of a story. 4 years ago, he came here as a freshman just to see what it was about. I remember he and his dad sitting up in the stands watching the practices.
He was outstanding in the postseason for a state championship high school team, running for over 700 yards in 3 games. Big sack there by Ernest Brown on his way to play for Northwestern.
Green 90, say hut. Say hut.
Tagovailoa in trouble again, escapes the pressure. Penalty flag comes in, but that's the type of playmaking you'll see at some point in Tuscaloosa. Dean Lenore back to receive. Little delayed cutback there. Nice move by the future Oregon Duck at DeSoto High, so they packed up and left to DeSoto. And he led them to a 16-0 state championship team. Najee Harris on 3rd down and 2, thrown for a loss of 2. Special teams fumble there, and the West team pounces on it. That's Levi Draper, future Oklahoma Sooner, and the West team back in business deep in East Territory.
That's Richard LeCount, the defensive back, who's known really for being a big hitter, just in the Sun Devils.
Big hugs for the family on the sideline as Shawn Robinson, Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Texas in about 3 days down there in Clemson, as Deshaun Watson will move on to the NFL. Great throw there from Hunter Johnson. He has wide receiver in stride, Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Yeah, sorry, Paul. He has a gun for an arm. Just watching him on the field pregame, you'll see the little slant by Peoples-Jones, and Hunter Johnson puts it on a line. He is the most impressive pure thrower of the football of all of the quarterbacks.
Like you said, runs the 100, 200, and 400, and he'll be running the ball quite a bit at Clemson. Looking deep down the field, our first big play of the game. Touchdown, East Team. Wide receiver Henry Ruggs out of Montgomery, Alabama. 61-yard score.
Henry Ruggs was the second of 3 receivers just running the deep post pattern against Caleb Jarrell right there. Ruggs, like a lot of these guys, a tremendous basketball player. In fact, didn't even play football in 10th grade. He was so committed to playing hoops, but he now realizes football is his future. And he gets the first touchdown of the day.
To account for in this game if you're the coaching staff. He usually takes up enough space for both the guard and tackle, so they actually had to run 2 guys on the field.
McCaffrey 1-for-1 comes underneath, and with all kinds of room to run, the West team knows how to respond. That's Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith has been extremely impressive all week. Just a little wide receiver screen comes underneath the blocks of the offensive line. Get out of my way. He is from Louisiana. And you talk to scouts, talent evaluators, barely gets tripped up there. They say he's got the dog in him. He's got the fight. He is skinny, but he'll bring it.
Undecided with his college plans. Eno Benjamin told us earlier he's going to Arizona State. Going for a first down and then some right there. Eno Benjamin inside the 5. Missed earlier in this quarter. And he doesn't miss again. Nice touch pass down the sideline from Fromm. And this will be another East touchdown. The passing game coming alive for the East team. That's DJ Matthews.
And then he just chucked the ball up into the soldiers. That was awesome.
76 yards from to Matthews, or you could say Georgia to Florida State.
It's one of the things that impresses me about the way Jake Fromm throws the football, because a lot of these young guys, they think they need to gun it in there, show off their arm strength every time. Jake Fromm has anticipation.
Team only 26 seconds left, but thanks to the penalty now on the 31-yard line. Little hook and lateral. Great job by the West.
That was an explosive tackle. Look at the middle of your screen. Little hook and ladder, and Okudah comes flying through with the hit.
Either one of my boys wanted to be a field goal kicker. I don't think I could come up with that. Up and in. Draws it right down the middle. And that's how the East team will get rolling here in the second half. This is Hunter Johnson in at quarterback, and beginning with the ground game. East team off to a great start here. That's DeAndre Swift, Philadelphia native, will play at Georgia this fall.
In one-on-ones and 7-on-7s, the way he throws it, the mechanics, everything seems to mean, he's one of the top players out there.
Third down in less than a yard. Great job by Addison Gums, future Oklahoma linebacker. Makes the hit in the backfield on Ty Chandler.
Continuing to churn the legs. Nice rally to the football for the West defense.
And more issues with the snap, but Chandler scooped that one up. That was a heck of a play. by the future Volunteer. Wow.
That is an incredible individual effort because it was yet another low snap. Chandler goes down and gets it, somehow still finds the hole, and then plows through another Tennessee native, Jacob Phillips, to get the first down. Chandler was really a big get for the Volunteers.
Trying to draw that one in and does so nicely. Just inside of 50 yards. Yeah, 3 of his Bishop Gorman teammates going to Ohio State. Bubba bucking that trend, you could say, and going to USC. And the West team going to get a great start on this possession. Dylan Orr still on his feet inside the 20-yard line. Couple of good blocks and then terrific acceleration.
He looked like he was shot out of a cannon right here. He saw an alley and just took off. When you look that fast on a field with a bunch of really fast guys, you can fly.
Diamador Lenoir, when you think about Oregon Ducks football, whether it goes back to Chip Kelly and Mark Helfrich and now Willie Taggart taking the program over, speed to burn. Every skill position, whether offense or defense, big playmakers.
This is Tate Martell, teammate of Bolden, into the end zone.
He is really sudden with his movements. Man, he reminds me so much of Johnny Manziel when he elects to run. You see him doing the OH right there. Just so shifty and explosive in his lower body, popping back right and left.
Commits in this game. They, of course, won a Grant Foster Sorrell as well, but it's been a USC-Washington battle at the top of the rankings, and Colorado
being potential #1 player in the country.
Pitch and catch, but the West defense there right after the reception. Vision for him, thinking about USC and also Ohio State. And Tate Martell just had a touchdown run of 18 yards. And a tough run to get just beyond the line of scrimmage of the West Coast.
Well, we know Jim Mora had a historic figure there, Miles Jack, who was Freshman Player of the Year on offense and defense in the Pac-12 for the Bruins.
West special teams. Nice play there.
I did. I'm a school record holder in the disc. I did throw it better than Marty. I can say that much.
Tonga Veloa. Quick feet there for a gain of 5 yards.
Stay hut.
First down, East team well in the NFL.
Green 90, stay hut.
Tonga Vailoa sidestepping the pressure. Nice throw back across his body. And a little help on the back end. Already with a touchdown, that's Henry Ruggs with a nifty run for a first down.
You know, it's either 26 or 29, it seems like. When these guys get their ball in their hands, they are tough to bring down. Henry Ruggs and DJ Matthews, a couple of undersized receivers for the East, have been awesome so far today. You see the ump cam.
DeAndre Swift, the running back, on his way to Georgia. Finds nowhere to go. West defense there to stack him up after a gain of 1.
Green 90, stay hut.
Tonga Vailoa buys a little extra time. Second time we've seen him do that. A little flush out to the left, keep his eyes downfield, fire a strike for a first down catch, and that one is D.D. Bowie. He'll play at Ole Miss.
It's a bit of an adjustment for the receivers to make, with Tonga Vailoa being the only left-handed quarterback here. Ball comes out spinning differently.
Saints. DeAndre Swift fighting for extra yardage. You can see why they're excited about him down in Athens for his Georgia career that's upcoming.
He is just so powerful in the lower body. Watch him coming into your living room here. Gets hit and drives a linebacker 5 yards, just carries him.
Defenders are running away from you.
Akers with a cutback, and Akers with a touchdown.
He is a special player, and I thought it was very telling yesterday when we were talking with him when he said he really shut down his recruitment during the season. That's how important it was to him to be a state champion. You see the change of direction right there. And you're right, Anthony, there's going to be some difficulties as a former quarterback.
Notre Dame's getting in there. Alabama, a lot of teams making Texas a big priority. The back door's been left unlocked in the state of Texas.
And that was Sean Robinson from the state of Texas. He'll play at TCU. Just turned it over to a future Buckeye. Why not? Chase Young.
Chase Young's been having a day. He's out of Powerhouse DeMatha Catholic outside of D.C., and the ball just slipped out of Robinson's hands. We talked earlier about how they're brand new footballs.
With his offensive lineman early. Hunter already has a touchdown pass here today. Nice play there by the West defense. That's Marlon Tuipulotu, who will play at Washington.
Hunter Johnson really burst onto the scene in the summer before his sophomore year. As you take a look at yet another play made by Jalen Phillips, as well as the future Washington Husky, Tuipulotu.
Country that is also a defensive line coach. I love that.
Fly sweep, and look at the West defense sprint to the ball there. Making a living behind the line of scrimmage. That's Samson Nayu, who'll play at Oregon.
Really good read and recognition by Nayu. Comes flying through there. His dad actually played at San Diego State. He's from San Diego.
News of where they're going to college.
And for the ones that haven't yet, it's about to be a very busy month.
I didn't know yet at this point.
Whoa. Well, that was interesting. Bursting through the line of scrimmage, untouched, that's Bubba Bolden. Made a declaration earlier today. He'd play at USC. Second player we've seen fire the ball to the troops. I don't see a flag.
And that is surprising because by rule, it was my impression that field goals were not to be rushed.
Well, the ball was on the ground. The long snapper, Bolden jumped.
Timed that up perfectly.
And he has done this multiple times for Bishop Gorman during his high school career, where he's either attempted or completed leaping over blockers to attempt to block field goals.
He was the only one playing football just before the snap. Everybody else standing there.
It's a good trait.
Because like Anthony said, you're not supposed to rush the field goals. I love it though.
Because they've only got a little over 10 commits in this class. So that's just something that Stanford deals with because they don't deal with much attrition, so they don't have huge classes.
Now inside of 30 seconds left. Jake Fromm takes the knee with his team up by 10.
Halfway.